Hey, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test.
Hey,
Dash. All right. Okay, good. All right. Welcome to another episode of Wildlife League Asia podcast, featuring, of course, your irregular casters, Autoluz and Dash. So what's up? What's good, Dash? How are you?
yeah, it's been a great, honestly, not great. Actually, it's great. It's a great week because I finished my internship now, so I can do a lot of things now after. So we can do a lot of things all together, all to lose after that. And now also, it was a great week of Wild Rift too. So later on, we're just gonna be catching up with that. But
Yeah.
before that, Autolus, how was your last 2 days after our cast?
Last 2 days has. Okay. Well, first of all, we finished our cast at around 11 p.m. Correct? Because it was the Sunday special in where we
Yeah.
went overtime. Three series, all went the distance, all best of
What a day.
threes. And then right after, I didn't have enough energy to do anything else, so went straight to bed, rested, and yeah, welcomed myself into a new morning with something in mind, which is to spend time with my girl. My girl was actually
Hey.
on leave, and we went on to watch Arcane. So if you saw my tweet,
Oh.
yeah, it is my first time to rewatch the Arcane. Just makes me a lot more excited for season two. But as we all know, season two is not going to join us anytime
No
soon. I think it
worries.
will be on 2024 or maybe 2025.
Yeah.
No rush though.
They're gonna, it's gonna be taking a long time before we get
Mm-hmm.
another season of Arcane. But again, I haven't had rewatch it actually. Was it
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyable watching it for the second time, knowing what's gonna happen? I mean, we all knew what's gonna happen anyway because some of us read the lore before heading into Arcane, and everybody said it's non-canon. But it's
Is it
is it still
non-canon?
fun? Everybody said it's non-canon.
Really? Okay, well
Yeah.
that's interesting because I felt like it was canon, but to me, the experience of rewatching the whole thing is all about nerding out on the details. You know that Vander was called the Hound of the Underground on the first
Yeah.
episode, so I guess
Yeah.
that to me is something that I missed the first time because it was on the first
Ooh.
episode. Uh, then after I rewatched it, yeah, it was made clear that on episode one there was already a foreshadowing that he would
Mm.
end up becoming Warwick. So
That's not a spoiler anymore at this point, everybody. You
yeah, I
should
don't
have
think so.
watched Arcade at
Yeah,
this point.
right. You shout out to Kyo in
Insane.
VGG already on Twitch. But there is also another live ongoing right now. Huge shout out to Rai on YouTube. So if you are not subscribed on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, there is indeed a YouTube channel of Autolus. The ones that are often in communication or in talks in the comment section, that is my official YouTube. Don't really rack up any videos on that channel because mostly my videos are on Facebook. But I'm trying. We're trying slowly but surely.
Hmm.
Surely, right?
Surely,
Anyway,
yes.
surely, no cap. But anyway, let's move on to another week of discussion, or another discussion about the week that has passed and the week that is going to be upcoming. Dash, and
Yeah.
it will be another set of interesting tidbits here and there about Wild Rift League. We all know that
Hmm.
Infi has his own co-stream ongoing. We're
Hmm.
going to join him most likely on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. By the way, Infi, how was your co-stream last Sunday? Because he wasn't
I think he
with
was
us,
soloing
right?
it. I remember he
Did
was
he?
soloing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was soloing the co-stream when Naos was fighting, and I was checking out the comment section. I
Mm,
really love that everybody was still there interacting in the chat, and he still
really?
has had constant viewers during that time. That's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, thank you for that, everybody.
Yeah, I think it's more of the localized flavor in it, right?
Mm.
Good thing that Enfi has now embraced the Filipino side in him and is now trying to connect with the Filipino audience.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
okay.
good.
Well, with the casting experience with you, I did rewatch it just by two times, I guess. Not the whole thing. More into. I skipped a whole lot, right? But I feel that I really enjoyed which game? The second game, really, because
Now this game.
yeah, because we were at least given hope that APAC would win, but was easily denied though. But yeah, still though, it is what we call moral victories. Dash, how about you? What series did you really enjoy the most? Don't tell me the Vayne series because it sucks.
That was a series in where both of us were running on whatever energy we have left, and then
Right.
the vein actually kept us awake, which is also nice. But if ever, I think the first series was actually nice. Specifically, game 2 to game 3
Mm-hmm.
was really nice because that is when we started our banter leading onto our games with Now Esports. So that is when we built the energy, and some of the energy was splurged out there because we got into game 3 during that time too, and that's the first time I saw J team flustered. So that was surprising for me too, which is why that's one of my favorite series casting with you too.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. I'll still pick the Now Esports one just because
Yeah.
it's an APAC versus Chinese. If you are following religiously Wild Rift League Asia, you know the record of APAC versus China. I think it's already at 2-11 now, Dash.
2-11.
Yeah, prior to
Yeah.
Sunday, it was 2-10. 2 wins to 10 losses, and now it's 2-11. By the way, I went on Reddit. I saw a post about Wild Rift League Asia, commented on it.
Really?
Yeah, because my man is Mr. Universal. I'm almost everywhere. So, yeah, I saw a very comprehensive post in there. I did introduce myself as the real Autolus, and there were some interesting facts in there. But the reality is, he said there that the APAC is basically doomed because the top teams from China has yet to play the APAC teams, and yet the record is already showing that we're like lagging behind in almost all aspects. So I don't know what to tell
I'll
you.
be honestly, I'll be honest with you, and it's really hard because the only teams that we won against
Uh huh.
is Rare Atom, and based on what happened during the last time, I thought we had a chance when we Nas was fighting against Thunder Talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if Thunder Talk is at the bottom of the barrel and Rare Atom only had one win already, I think we have a chance if ever we win against Thunder Talk. So that means it's not just Rare Atom that we're winning against. But when I saw Thunder Talk playing against Now Esports, yes, they had some lag times, but their micro is like times 2 or way higher than Rare Atom, and that is where we lost during that series against Now Esports, which is why I believe, yes, we still are on that gap. Not doomed. We still are on that gap. It's still quite far away because until someone defeats Thunder Talk, maybe.
I think it's clear as day that Rare Atom really is way behind
Why are
compared
they
to the
even
other
there?
Chinese teams, right? Thunder Talk though is a special case to me, right? Because they still have a very good superstar in Z that can 1v9. And once he 1v9, see, he's basically the insurance for this guys. The good thing, or I think the main reason why Thunder Talk is not enjoying as much, how should I call this, as much success as OMG is because Thunder Talk will always be scouted and will always be countered around the mid lane. Unlike OMG, which is on paper you don't really have prior info about, but White Cat has really solidifying himself as one of the best Baron laners, so I expect, that he will be targeted by a whole lot. So truth be told, I'm looking at OMG, Rare Atom, and Thunder Talk as the bottom 3 teams, including WHG. Maybe that's your bottom 4 teams from China. I could be wrong though. This is a long tournament, right? And OMG has a lot of fan base supporting them. But well, my intelligent guess is those 4 teams again, namely WHG, Rare Atom, Thunder Talk, and OMG, in no particular order, will really be struggling and might not be included in the upcoming playoffs, which is going to happen by July.
Yeah. And adding up to that, yes, they have been struggling, especially that they're fighting against a lot of the CN teams that we had so far. The only time that they're probably going to be getting a lot of their wins is probably from the APAC teams, and that is not enough to propel them upward.
Right.
So if ever there's going to be an upset from what I'm seeing here for the CN conference, the only team that I could see could be taken off probably would be FPX. If ever FPX doesn't change what they do.
Yeah.
Because with WHG, OMG, Rare Atom, and Thunder Talk, it's okay that they're there, but FPX could still be there with
Lose.
them, or at least,
Right.
yeah, would still be able to lose if they don't change things up as a team. Because so far, they haven't been performing really well as expected from them.
Yeah. Huge hi to Oshi Noob. He's asking what the frick is this? We're talking about WRLA in general. So if you do follow Wild Rift League Asia, then you'll hear a lot of insightful things here. If you don't, maybe it's time for you to start following Wild Rift League Asia because it's
Please
the
do.
best tournament right now for Wild Rift. It's the only tournament, so to speak. So yeah,
Yes.
a lot of things that you would hear here would mostly be relatable once you listen to the casts. That is by the way happening from Wednesday to Sunday. Anyway, so that's your standings for China. That's the most updated one. J team atop the standings. EDG was handed their first loss. Then you have JDG, KBG, which is my tournament favorites, just because they won the last one. You also have Weibo Gaming, which is
My favorite.
so solid too, but yeah,
My favorite
there's a lot of things happening with WBG that would make you scratch your head, but at the same time, on the other side, once they perform well, they really do perform well. You have Nova Esports, another contender, and then the rest of the Chinese squad. I will be showing the standings for APAC real quick, just so our viewers would have a lot more information before we head on to the weekly discussion. For APAC, you have KT Roller Y atop the standings, followed by BRU, NGX, Invade, Now Esports, and then the rest will be Fennel, Team Flash, and Cerberus. The biggest surprise, of course, to everyone that is following Southeast Asia is that Vietnam teams are nowhere to be found in the top four, namely Cerberus Esports and Team Flash. But hey, Dash, share your thoughts about this standings for APAC.
Honestly, it's kind of unfair on this side though for KT Russell. Why? Because they have been fighting against a lot of APAC teams, which also could really swing things up in their favor. Honestly, winning against APAC teams is much more important at this point than winning against most of the Chinese teams, because that's probably the only way why you're gonna get top four. So
Yeah.
it's good for Roster Y, but it's kind of unfair for everybody else because everybody else on this side has been fighting the CN
Chinese
Conference
squads.
team.
Right.
The only Chinese squad that Roster Y fought against, I think, was
J-Team.
J-Team. Yeah.
And
So-
they got day one, right? Like the day one special in where they got 0-2
Yeah.
against
They lost
Barry.
there, and
Yeah.
everybody doubted Roster Y. Now they're here, but my overall thoughts, if I'm gonna be looking forward to something, everybody's been looking forward to NGX. That's gonna be normal, but on the other hand, I would love to see a lot more from BRU, because so far, I see that BRU could potentially swing back for top four, and if I'm gonna be looking at the
Give me your top four. Give me your top four.
yeah, let's go. Okay, I'll go with Roster Y for
Okay.
top one because they have been winning almost half already.
In no particular
BRU.
order, dude. Just give me your top four. Because
Yeah.
standings, I mean, ranking the
Roster.
top four is kind of hard to do.
Yeah, Roster for now. Roster BRU, NGX, and
And another one, right? That's it.
and
Yeah. And then a flip.
Cerberus Esports.
Yeah, because those are the top four teams that I also think would be joining the playoffs. Again, the magic number is four
Yeah.
for APAC conference teams. It is a given that KT Rosa Y, BRU, and NGX will be part of the top four.
For
As
sure.
for my fourth team, I don't know. Maybe Fennel, maybe Naos. So those are the
Mm,
teams that I'm looking at. Because Cerberus Esports, yeah, I know that they won against Naos.
but
But they were on the brink of getting O2'd. And game number three does not count because
yeah. Yeah.
it was a mental
Yeah.
boom moment for the whole Naos squad. The good
That
thing
was
about
unfair at
Naos
that
though
point. Yeah.
was last Sunday against Thunder Talk, they really stood their ground. And I saw improvements overall. Now, a lot of teams, sorry, not teams, but a lot of commenters, viewers, are still suggesting that now us lost because of the draft rather than looking as to
Nah.
how it got executed. So, yeah, because it is the easiest thing to pinpoint, right? And we don't want to really involve ourselves too much when it comes to being over analytical towards drafts. We do have our own opinion about this, Dash, and I know that you agree with me on this. That draft is like at this point, especially facing against one of the toughest regions to face
Yeah.
against. I feel even if you have the perfect draft, it doesn't matter. It don't matter. You will still struggle because of the macro, because of the micro, and just as long as you're giving yourself opportunity to win, to snatch a 2-0 or maybe 2-1, it gives a lot of hope to APAC teams. It's a long tournament, and as I say, APAC is scaling.
But it on the same note of what you said a while ago, yes. So at some point, some drafts are unwinnable. There's something like that. Yes, there's unwinnable drafts if
Yeah.
ever it's really not there. The champions really did not work in your favor. But if they're talking about now esports so far, I haven't seen a draft that could really put them downwards. Because so far their drafts have been, what can I say? Classic on the meta. Because we're basically rotating the same champions every time. Same champions, same bans every time. It's a good thing that we had that EDG versus KBG game during last Sunday.
Yeah.
It's the only time I saw an Oriana, a Vayne, and a Lulu, and even a Jarvan
Jarvan.
on one draft. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a crazy series.
Technically not on draft because Oriana joined us
Actually,
on
game
game
three.
number three,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in game number one, yeah, you can say it was a draft diff. Because it's a lot harder to win as Vayne against the Gwen, against the Xin Zhao. It is the Xin Zhao, to me, that really made things
It
impossible.
was hard.
Yeah, because one crescent sweep is basically an AoE win wall, right? So all
Can't even hit the
projectiles,
Shinzao. Yeah.
you can even 1v1. And also, huge props to KG on that Fiora because he really made things work. When they were trying to scramble for answers, both KG and Shama, yeah, from KBG kept them in the game. So yeah. Anyway, for APAC again, this is what is happening at the moment, and we were asked Dash as to who our best team position by position from APAC is for week number 3. What was your answer? Do you care to reveal your answers to the public right now?
Actually,
Top
right
to
now I
bottom?
haven't
Answered
really
it
put
yet?
mine. I'll just answer it right now. For
Okay.
me, for the top lane, it's still gonna be Rattel.
Okay.
On the support, I'm still gonna go with What the Jess, because What the Jess still has a lot of things to prove. I'm gonna go from top to like I'm gonna go until the mid lane. So on the dual lane,
Kick. Okay.
on the dual lane, I'm gonna go with Mirmo. Last week I was with Raven, but now I'm with Mirmo on this one. And jungler, I'll go with Do. Mid lane, am I still gonna go back with Mitsura? So far, I've only seen great performances from Ulster Y.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go with Zero for this one too. I'm really sorry, everybody, but I really want to add a lot of the other teams, but roster Y has been the one performing here a lot.
I did not vote for anyone else. Like I voted a roster Y 5-man stack. Because last
Really?
week, and I'm going to show it to everyone. Yeah, I mean, how do you select anyone outside of the only team that won for APAC?
That's true.
There
That's true.
was only one team that won from APAC last week, and
That's
that is KT Roster Y. You're going to look at week number 3, and this is our topic. Week number 3, day number 1, WHG was able to win against Team Flash, and Team Flash only played once, scratching them away because it was also a very dominant 2-0. I cannot I cannot, I cannot just choose anyone from Team Flash, right? Cerberus Esports
Yeah.
got 0-2'd by J Team and got 1-2'd by Rare Atom. Now this is a big wild card though, or a big asterisk for me because Cerberus Esports in week number 3, due to unfortunate incidents, played without Meliodas. If anything, I might actually give a player from Cerberus Esports a nod by at least getting one win last Saturday against Rare Atom because that was definitely an uphill battle. We all know how important Meliodas is for CES, and he was absent for those 2 matches. But still, yeah, again, going back to my thoughts, April 20, BRU played against FPX, did not win. NGX played against OMG. The expectation is for NGX to win, right? That was the expectation. But OMG was still able to come out on top to the surprise of everyone because Wildcat, to our surprise as well, was actually a monster in the
Yeah.
Baron lane. And then you have KT Rollster winning against Fennel. Fennel 0-2'd by KT Rollster. So, yeah, I mean, all teams from APAC, there was only one team that won last week, and that was KT Rollster. But the bigger asterisk there is they faced APAC teams. They did not face Chinese teams. So it's kind of hard for me to select anyone from the other teams just because of the record alone. But surely, yeah, if there will be any honorable mentions, then I might look at Naos with how they performed against Thunder Talk um, last Sunday. That's it.
That's true, honestly. If we're gonna be heading on to, but for the APAC team, because yeah, honestly, based on statistics, nobody, nobody would
Nobody
be able to
won.
get that except for them. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Just roster Y.
so it was Ratel, Do, Zero, Luna, and Nomel
Mel.
as my vote. I won't be surprised if the totality have the same. Right. You know what, Dash? I looked at week number 2 and week number 1 votes for us casters, and I found out that our votes were not considered
Yeah,
for the
that was
overall poster.
I
Right.
was surprised about that though,
Yeah.
because I thought they're gonna go. I mean, Rattel is always gonna be our vote for APAC every time so far just because
Sure.
of the performance.
Wait,
And
who's our
also,
best Baron laner for APAC aside from Ratel? Maybe Y1.
Y1, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Y1.
I think Asriel. Although Asriel's performance, at least in the past 2 series, is a miss. 0-4. The past 4 games. It's not going to help your cause, right? Although we can look at it and say that hey, this guy is full of potential. We're not looking for potential here. We're looking for performers,
Results.
basically,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, that's week number 3 for you. And again, as for our votes, I don't have any disagreements though. Like Zalpi really played out of his mind during weeks 1 and 2, but there are some things in there that I kind of want to change. Of course, number
Yeah,
one being Mirmo. I feel that Mirmo really deserved the MVP.
for
Uh,
sure.
in the Dragon Lane. Yet you voted for Raven. Like, dude,
Yeah, I
you don't know what
mean,
you're doing, dude. Are we
I
even watching
mean,
the same thing?
I just like seeing Raven actually play out.
Sure.
I don't know why. Why?
I'm going, and this is what we're going to do, right? Every time that I see Dash vote for someone that I think should not be voted in, I will call him out. Like, dude,
Yeah.
Ra-
Oh, man.
yeah, I know that Raven was able to win at least something uh for
Mm,
Invid,
yeah.
but did he get the
The win
respect
for the
by the whole Chinese region? Because there are only two players that were able to garner a respect band throughout.
yeah.
One being Mirmo on his Ash, and the second
Mm-hmm.
one being Just G on his LS.
Yeah.
No one else. Just those two. I'm just saying. But week number 4, let's move on. And we have to make this quick because I know that you still have to go somewhere else. It's already 30 minutes into our podcast. And we're going to throw our predictions as well. Plus some notes as to who we think is a must watch for week number 4 here, Dash. So
Yep.
help me out on April 26th, which is going to be tomorrow. There will
Okay.
be a an APAC versus China special, which is Trace Esports versus Invid, followed by
Mm-hmm.
JDG versus Rare Atom, and then followed by Naos versus Team Flash. How would you
Oh,
rate this day on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being the highest.
on a scale of 1 to 5, no, I'll use my own scale. This is a 2-0 day.
Okay.
This day would be a 2-0
Go
day.
ahead. Go ahead. Give me your winners. Give me your predictions.
Trace, JDG, and Naus are gonna be winning this week.
So it's
Or rather, this days. Yeah.
yeah. It's
You think the
resident
last
sleeper.
series would be
I don't know.
hard or something?
I don't know. Like to me, I won't be surprised if Rare Atom takes a game off of JDG. I'm kidding. Who am I kidding?
Nah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
not
It's a
gonna take
2-0. Yeah, it's a 2-0 day. It's to me. It's since you have just scored it a 2-0 for everyone, then it's safe to say it's not a good day, right? To follow Wild Rift Esports.
As you said, yeah, it's a resident sleeper day. For
It's
sure.
a resident sleeper for sure. Like Invade, yeah, hearts go out to Invade Esports Squad. Well, we all know that Trace Esports, especially with how they performed way back in their last game, they surprised a whole lot of people, right? When they won
Yep.
against, who did they win against? Trace Esports. Wait, let me double check. They won against Weibo, 2-0.
Ooh.
So that was, if that is any indication, like Invade is basically screwed to the brim, to the core, right? And then JDG is most likely going to get a win against RA. Now versus TF though, we can only hope that it will be a 2-0, but I won't be surprised if it's a 2-1. If it will ever become a 2-0 in favor of Naos Esports, then it's going to be a lot more helpful to them and their cause to get that
Yeah.
top 4. Because 2-0 will give you 2 points, while 1-0
Yep.
will give you 1 point. And then a 0-2 will most likely give you, well, of course, give you a -2. So those are the things that we're going to look at by June as we enter the playoff seeding. April 27, dude.
Ooh. This is way harder though. April 27 for me. Oh, actually, this is easy too. For except for the last series, I think. For the first series, I don't know why, but I think this is gonna be a 2-1.
BRU versus Thunder Talk?
2-1
BRU or
BRU.
TT? Okay.
BRU. BRU for me. Next game, KBG for sure. KBG is gonna be winning this. May it be a 2-1. I think it could be a 2-1 if it's against OMG. There's a reason why they're the favorites of everyone. And could be a 2-1. But last series, WHG's probably gonna
Versus
win
Fennel?
this. Yeah. And Fennel could get a 1 game. So another 2-1 for me.
So it's a
for this.
2-1 day, is what
Yeah.
you're saying, right?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Is it agreeable or what do you think?
It really depends as to how fast Fennel will overcome everything that they have to overcome, because there's a lot,
Mhm.
right? But you could already see the development behind Fennel's playstyle. So they're not going to go for risky plays, that's for sure. They want to scale up, and they're going to rely heavily on their late game team fighting, which is going to be centered around Chaz in the Baron lane, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I have let you in that I already knew about Chaz's movement to the Baron lane
Baron lane?
even before. So it was not a surprise to me. I was like expecting. You know what really surprised me? What surprised me was on day number one, the day that Fennel played, that they still played Ryuken. Because from what I heard, Fennel was really trying out Chaz in the Baron lane, and they were making it work. Add to the fact that Kaigu is there. We all know that Kaigu needs someone that understands him so well.
Yeah.
So Chaz in the Baron lane does make a lot of sense. You know what? I'm going with Fennel. WHG is beatable.
Really?
Yeah, WHG is beatable, dude. Like,
They're at the bottom anyway. Yeah, and I think they're really beatable.
it is winnable for Fennel. It will depend on as to how crisp their, I mean, how big their improvement is. Because Fennel is the biggest wild card of the tournament. Because they have a big movement topside. They have a quote unquote rookie mid laner. But they have a very solid, very solid bot laner, right? They have Danny, they have Horizon. Now it all depends on Trevor and his ability to play around topside. Because they have to play around topside. BRU versus Thunder Talk. If BRU loses this, we're screwed to the brim.
That's
right?
true.
Like,
That's true. They should win this, honestly.
yeah, they should.
'Cause they're probably one of the, or other than Roster, why they're who we expect
Yep.
that could beat a CN team.
Yeah, and they
So-
they got a 2-0 against NGX, right? So their expectations after getting that very impressive 2-0 against NGX is way
So
up
high.
there. If they end up not really performing to the standards that we have expected of them, or that we expect of them, then I would say that we jinx them, right? But yeah, BRU,
It's a GG.
they should be safe. They should be okay. So it is possible that is it possible that on April 27 we'll be seeing two APAC teams win against China? That will be revolutionary, and that will also be something to look
That's a
out
good
for.
day.
Right.
That'll be a good day.
If it happens, I will call it the miracle day or something, right?
Hey,
Like dude.
let's put it on our calendars.
Yeah, BRU over DT, Fennel versus Woohoo, and then KBG will most likely destroy OMG. April 28th, dude. What's your take?
28. Tracy's versus JDG. This is way harder. Because Tracy Sports was able to get.
Yeah, just vote
win
for
against
Trace,
Weibo.
dude.
I really want to vote for JDG, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Tracy Sports here. This one though, this game, the next game, NGX versus KT, this would be fun. This would be good to see.
Wait,
If ever-
when was the last time that they fought? Because I remember that they already fought, like NGX and KT Rolls.
Was it on what do you call it? CEC?
No. They did not, of course.
Oh no, it's not. Roll is not gonna be there. Sorry.
I mean, like, dude, let's look into other Circuit Asia Open, because that was when KT Roser was the second placer. And we see here that Nigma Galaxy was at the top of the standings. Although this is going to be hard to assess, because this is the NGX version in where they were playing Chami, yeah?
Yeah,
So,
it was.
kind of different.
It was also the roster of EVOS. A very different roster of EVOS here.
Okay, let me double check
That's what
if we can see see here the last time that KT Roaster and NGX met. Okay, so this is NGX, and where is KT Roaster? NGX KT Roaster is here. It's a 2-1 in favor of NGX back in November
That's right.
12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then they had Shammy.
Yep. Which
Mm.
is going to be a lot different. Correct.
Yeah. Way different battle here.
Yep. But still, it's a good indication that NGX does know how to win against KT Roaster Y. So let's go back to the thing. NGX versus KT. Who you got?
I'll still go with just based on momentum. Roaster Y. I'll go with Roaster Y.
Roaster
2-1.
Y?
2-1.
Okay.
2-1.
All right, I'm going with I'm going with
NGX?
NGX. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think by then everything that revolves around the Baron lane should have been solved already. They're not really going to overpower you with mechanics. If KT Roaster Y then decides to ban away the Lee Sin, copying the other people's strategy, I feel that Coach Avanzo and Coach TJ already has prepared something to make sure that won't influence the result of the game. Especially in the upcoming SEA Games, right? It's fast approaching. SEA Games talent lineup has also been announced. It is you included, right? That's going to be May 6th and May 7th, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is gonna be.
So SEA Games is also going to be a very interesting one. That will be you, Best Boy Gia. We also have Osiris and Homie
Yeah.
Infinity, right? So good luck to you for it.
Yeah.
To those that are wondering why I'm not included, huge shout out to Grandon for messaging me and being worried for no reason. Yeah, I do have Wild Rift League Asia for those set dates, and I cannot double book myself because it's for the same organizer. So yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on. Nova versus EDG. Who you got?
Whew, this is hard. Hard.
This is definitely a hard day to predict, huh? April 28th.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Because
mark this as
honestly-
the best day, I guess.
Yeah, probably for us, cause it's Nova versus EDG. Probably if on the power rankings, Nova is still at the second place, or rather the first place right now, in EDG on the third place. I'll still go with EDG. I think I would love to believe on EDG on this. This would be a long series for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with EDG. What do you think?
Nova, of course. Like, dude. Where are you?
Everybody's a fan of Nova. I'll
I
go
mean,
with
I
EDG.
know the Shingdo 7 really popped off against that tone. But against Long,
Might be different, yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
And also, Alone will pick his AD carry and give a game away to Nova, so that's already 1-0 in my eyes.
They picked the Vayne again
Yeah.
for the first
Oh,
game. They
yep.
lose the whole series.
And there's a
Oh,
whole
man.
series of
Oh,
that
man.
because that is most likely going to happen. So this April 26th and April 28th, the contrast is real, right? April 26th might
Yeah.
be our resident
Sleeper
sleeper.
day.
Meanwhile, April 28th is going to be a banger. That even if it is full of 2-0s, it is definitely going to be the most exciting 2-0s that we'll ever see this week. So
Yeah.
April 29, bruh. This is a Saturday. And it will be
day
JT
that I
versus
will-
BRU. Oh, so we have 2 BRU games this weekend. I mean,
Oh, man.
this coming week.
Let's say this day is also gonna be an easy call.
Mhm.
J Team versus BRU. It will change. What my vote is would change if BRU wins against Thunder Talk by the 27th. But for now, let's go with J Team with a 2-0.
Okay.
2-0.
And then OMG versus Thunder Talk.
OMG for sure. OMG.
OMG.
You're gonna be winning this against Thunder Talk. 2-0 even.
Wait, White
Last
Cat versus Z? Okay, sure.
I mean, I'll go with Z.
Okay.
Any time of the day. KBG. Yeah, for sure.
Wait, you went with Z, but you voted OMG? Are you crazy, dude? Like OMG.
Oh, wait. White Cat, sorry.
you
White
went with
Cat,
White,
White Cat. OMG.
Aight. Cerberus versus KBG. Do we even have to ask?
Nah,
Okay.
that's an easy answer.
Alright. Anyway, but I'll be excited to see Meliodas back in the roster again.
Please
Only
do.
to get trashed by the 5-man squad of
By the
KBG.
tone.
Yeah.
No, he's not gonna
Now
get
it's
trashed by the tone. They're gonna get trashed by Unrun.
yeah. I mean, it's a combination of both, really, right? Because KBG's playstyle does not really go isn't really going to be just one person popping off. They will be
I
popping
honestly
off
think
as a squad. And
that
yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think KBG has a weak jungler.
Huh? Okay. Are you sure? Like, I mean, I get
I
that.
don't see the Ton as a strong jungler compared to the other junglers in the CN conference.
Sure. Right. Okay.
But the other player, I think
he
he's
was the
more of an
finals
enabler.
MVP during last
He-
season.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the
But-
finals MVP is going to get out jungled by Meliodas? Or maybe some other Chinese?
No.
Right.
For other Chinese teams, I think he's gonna be on.
Really? That tone. I feel that
If you
he's okay. Like it's hard to say. Off of one series that he got out jungled by Shingdo 7, that he's not up to par compared to the other junglers. Because we're going to look at it and remember that the first loss that they got was against. Who was it against?
Nova
Yeah, against Nova.
against Long.
The tone held his own. Like, dude,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll be
But the
fine.
problem I have with the Tom though is whenever he's given a champion that is supposed to carry rather than more on the utility side. Like,
When
for
was it,
example,
though?
He plays well. He plays well when he played Kha'Zix. That was last week too. When he played Kha'Zix, I think their battle against is that against EDG? if I
EDG?
remember correctly.
Third game?
Second,
No, second game he was on. Because first game he was on Shinjiao.
yeah, Xin Zhao.
Oh yeah, okay.
Second game,
be
I
second
forgot
game.
what he was using, but second game, third game. But
Right.
yeah, that's one of my
Hotter
nitpicks
takes.
about
Okay,
the Tom.
that's fine.
Yeah.
April 29. I'm still a firm believer that BRU would end up being the best APAC team, just because of how the roster was constructed. J team also is going to be the most boring team of all. So I would still be voting for BRU. I'm not a hater, but close to that, yeah. Thunder Talk versus OMG. I might go with Thunder Talk.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
White Cat, sure. But no way the Camille, dude. Like his Camille is so good. I have to
Bad the
agree.
Camille, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, like dude. And remember how he got outlaned by Don 128? It's just
Oh,
that
yeah.
Don
Yeah.
presented the win. I mean, Don was a brother to OMG and basically gave himself as a sacrifice prior to the Elder Dragon fight. For KBG versus CES, again, yeah, Meliodas is going to. Hopefully, Meliodas is back in action, but KBG would most likely get a 2-0. If it ever gets to 3 games for Cerberus Esports, that's already a big moral victory for them. So I feel, you know, if I'm one of the support staff of Cerberus Esports, I'm going to take it as game number 1, win or loss, or win or lose. You move on to game number 2 and still try to win at least 1 game. That's it. I think for every APAC team going against Chinese teams, getting 1 game off of them is good. It would be
Honestly
nicer.
enough.
Yeah, if it would be a total series win. Anyway, let's move on to April 30, which is the Sunday special. It will be you and me to cast Nova versus Team Flash. RIP Team Flash. Rare Atom versus Weibo Gaming. RIP RA. And then we have the best
And
game for
RIP
the last.
Roster by EDG.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the best game we have for that day.
Okay.
The best with what we have.
Okay.
But I
yeah.
think it's a 2-0.
Yeah. At least our Sunday special would not go the distance, and we won't be forced to go in overtime.
That's good.
That's one thing to look at it. Like Nova
Maybe
versus
if it's alternating based on the if
what?
it's gonna look at the weeks though. Look at week two. Week two we had 2 0 days, and week three we
Yeah.
have all 2 1s now. No, we get 2 zeros for sure.
Yeah, but April 16th, though, you won't be expecting it to just be a flat out 2-0, would you? Right?
Actually,
Nova versus Race Esports, it could have gone the distance. KT Rosa and
Gene,
Invade at this point, like second week, they were the bigger wild card of the tournament from APAC.
Yep.
We don't know how good they would be performing. They were coming off a win against Team Flash, so chances are they would put up a challenge against KT, and then we just saw KBG dismantle FPX. Yeah, that could be just the easier 2-0.
that's right.
But April 30, the April ender, because the day
Oh.
following that would be a holiday and would be the first day of May. So yeah.
Long weekend.
Nova versus Team Flash. I guess the best games are really on April 28th, which is a bummer because we won't be casting it. Ah, that's fine.
That's it. That's the disadvantage of being the irregulars because you don't get to cast
All
the
games.
best games every
Yeah.
time. The best game every time.
It's fine, Jikumo. It's fine. You can always rewatch, and I'm also on YouTube. So if you wanna rewatch on YouTube, it should be uploaded there now. Huge shout out to our YouTube friends that is on YouTube right now. It's EJ, Rai, and Aryan. Yeah, Luge English, because you have to talk in English to cater to some audience outside the Philippines. Very supposed to. That's fine. I guess that's about it. Week number 4, in a nutshell, there would be days in where we will be so excited watching. All I hope is that we will finally be getting our APAC win again, because
Please.
against CN conference, because it's a lot enjoyable to create content of us winning against the Chinese team, because there's a lot of things that I can say. But if it ends up a loss, then yeah, that's just
Lose again. No.
pretty much a sad thing. It's already 15 minutes. We'll be catering at least one more question from the crowd. If you have any question, I'm giving you until 8:51 to throw us just one question towards Dash or towards me. It could be anything. Could be what are you wearing tonight or something.
They can see what we're wearing, but
Yeah.
down there maybe if you
Sure.
want to ask that. Then
Hopefully we win on week number 4, since we have no matches on week number 5. It will be a
Oh,
long
right, yeah.
week. Oh. Okay.
week 5 we don't.
No PH teams
don't
on
have any
week
games.
5.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's alright. Wait,
Good-
3 teams
good rest
from
for the players.
3 teams from Philippines, and we have we don't have any match.
No
for
games.
That's
Yeah,
strange,
no
but then
games.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Kumain na kayo. Anong ulam niyo? Sabi ni KL09. I guess
What did I eat? I forgot.
I haven't eaten yet. But
Oh, that's why.
I think I'll have pata. Because what I did was stream Mage Seeker, right? And then I prepared the whole
yeah.
thing for podcast for today. But I think you have to go now, Dash, because you have something to go to go to by 9 p.m. But yeah, hopefully we can win the next game. Hashtag PH win, hashtag APAC win. And again, huge shout out to all that dropped by in our live podcast. Again, in the future podcasts that we will ever have, you don't have to be here live, because I will most likely going to save a VOD on my YouTube channel just for you guys. You're that special. Anyway, this is all to
Yay.
lose. Final words, Dash, before we end up the podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for everyone. Now we're on 11 viewers. And that's good. That's good progress for the podcast, everybody. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for being here. Don't forget to check out Otulus's page, because there's a lot of Wild Rift content for everybody.
And
there.
Mage
also
Seeker,
Maybe. And Mage Seeker content for
yeah.
everybody. And also, I'll probably be posting starting next week for content regarding Wild Rift, but it's just sad we don't have games during next week, but good progress,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, thank you very much for having me here, Otolus.
Sure, thank you as well. Again, also be on the lookout, because As soon as I get a foreign guest to say yes to me,
Hey,
then I'll
yeah.
be more happy to bring them along in this show. I don't often stream on Twitch, and there is this identity crisis in me as to where to really put out my content. But I will just, I'll just announce it on my socials. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, at AutoCast, because I feel that my tweets are worth noticing, especially the previous ones. Huge shout out to everyone that is present here, be it on YouTube and be it on Twitch. Again, this is Lose together with Dash. Thank you, GG. Well played. Enjoy your evening. Bye bye.